that moment last night, specifically Austin Matthews coming through and kind of having what felt like his first vintage Stanley Cup playoffs moment. He's had two other multi-goal games in his playoff career, but that one just felt a little bit different. You mentioned it. It felt like such a long shot, needing 3 goals on Andrei Vasilevskiy, who is usually lights out coming off a loss in his playoff career. They somehow pull this thing off. And I also give him a ton of credit for going pedal to the floor in overtime. The shot attempts were 9-1 in the extra frame. Is this a Leafs team that's setting themselves up for another collapse, Frank, or does something feel different right now?
No, this feels totally different. And the way these last 2 games have gone in particular, winning a game that they probably shouldn't have on Saturday in game 3, also with a late game tying goal and the third period heroics. It's amazing to me how it comes full circle. Think back to 2013. If you go back and line up the timeline of the goals, even the goal that was scored in overtime, a similar time frame to when the Leafs blew a 4-1 lead in game 7 to the Boston Bruins. This feels like the same thing, but reversed. And for that to all play out, it's almost like you needed that to happen for this team in order for them to slay their demons that have existed really in the first round since then. Austin Matthews gets that signature moment that you were talking about. When is this guy going to step up? He's been such a killer in the regular season, the swagger, the confidence. You saw that on full display, getting that second goal of the game for the Leafs. It was a classic, you mentioned vintage Austin Matthews goal. Gets on his stick, off in a hurry, right in the back of the net. That's the type of performance that we've been waiting for this Toronto Maple Leafs team, loaded with talent, loaded with skill to have. And yeah, you're right. They're not out of the woods just yet. They did have a 3-1 series lead against the Montreal Canadiens just 2 years ago. But this feels entirely different. And with all due respect to Sheldon Keefe, who said that the Leafs probably would not have won that type of game in years past on Saturday, it's last night for me. It's game 4. That's a game with a chance to put a skate on the throat of the Tampa Bay Lightning, which they did, now grabbing a 3-1 series lead.